Let's meet Bob, who's just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. His doctor has recommended some changes in his diet. Let's say hello. Hi, Bob. Do you have any thoughts on your new diet, Bob? What do you think you should be eating? Let's help you out. One of the most important parts of your diet that you'll have to manage is your carbohydrates. How much and what type of carbohydrate foods are important for managing diabetes. The balance between how much insulin is in your body and the carbohydrates you eat make a difference in your blood glucose levels. No, Bob, not carburetor, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are one of the 3 macronutrients in the foods we eat. The other 2 are protein and fat. Carbohydrates provide energy. There are 3 types of carbohydrates. There are starches, sugars, and fiber. Starches are found in vegetables like peas, corn, lima beans, and potatoes. Take a look, Bob. Oh, ixnay on the lima beans? Okay, Bob. Starches also include beans, lentils, and rice. Beans like pinto, kidney, and black-eyed peas. No, Bob, not the group black-eyed peas. Sorry. Starches also include grains, oats, barley, rice, wheat. Grains are divided into 2 groups, whole and refined. Whole grains are more beneficial for you, as they're more nutritious. Another type of carbohydrate is sugars. There are some in foods that naturally have sugars, like milk and fruit. Other foods have added sugar, like fruit canned in heavy syrup or sugar added in a cookie. Lastly, there's fiber, which is the indigestible part of plant foods. Are you familiar with fiber, Bob? Oh, Bob, that's not what I mean. You can get fiber from fruits with edible skin, berries with seeds, whole grain breads, nuts. For good health, you should consume 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day. However, it's important to increase your fiber intake gradually and also increase your fluid intake to prevent constipation. Carb counting, again, is a very important part in managing your blood glucose level. There are 2 methods, basic and advanced. You'll work with your healthcare provider to determine what works best for you. But men need 60 to 75 grams of carbohydrates per meal and an additional 15 to 30 grams for their nighttime snack. Women need 45 to 60 grams per meal and 15 grams per snack. 15 carbohydrates equals 1 choice. So you can see there how many choices of carbs you'll have per day. The next step is to determine how many carbs are in the serving of food you're going to eat. Bob, do you know how to find out how many carbohydrates are in your food? I'll take that as no. Would you take a look at the food label on that can of lima beans? All right, the corn then. Are you okay with that? Good deal. First thing, look at the serving size. Keep in mind that there is normally more than 1 serving per package or can. Look down the list of total carbohydrates. Find it? That number is the total grams of carbs in 1 serving of that food. This is the total of all 3 types: starch, sugar, and fiber. With me? 1 serving of corn is 18 grams. Keep that number in mind for just a moment. So, if it has 18 grams of carbs, how many choices is that? That's right, Bob. Just a bit over 1 choice. You're getting the hang of it. But what about this apple? Is there a nutrition label on it? One way to find out how many carbs are in this apple is to look it up on a nutritional tracking website like supertracker.org. You can look up numerous types of food and get all the nutritional values, not just carbohydrates. Try it, Bob. Did you find it? That would make a good snack. A medium-sized raw apple is 19 grams. Let's round it up to 20, which makes it just a little over a choice. In recommended range. Good job. What about this candy bar? See what the tracker says about that, Bob. Yipes! 35 grams. You can have it. But is it worth it? That's almost a whole meal's worth. Man, if I were you, I'd leave that alone. With wise food choices, Bob, you can have a large variety of foods. Another thing to keep in mind is if your serving of food has 5 grams of carbs or less, it's a zero choice. That's like having free food. So, a low-carb dish like a salad with lettuce, onions, cucumbers adds up to less than 3 grams of carbohydrates. Pair that with a low-carb salad dressing and you're good to go. Low-carb foods also include lean meats, fish, etc. Having to count carbs doesn't mean that you'll go hungry. It also doesn't mean you can't have a treat every now and then. Be aware of your food choices. Not only will help to manage your glucose level, you might lose weight and overall feel better. Sound good, Bob? Combine healthy food choices with exercise and you'll be well on your way to managing your diabetes. Good for you, Bob. You got this.